Hello everyone, this is Husketeer here, and it's time for some more Bronze League Heroes! Oh, it's been too long. It's been too long. Really, 5 minutes is too long not to be watching a Bronze League Heroes. But that is right. It is time to cast the very best of the very worst here in Bronze League Heroes. It is to remind you guys that StarCraft is meant to be played for fun, that the game is fun at all levels, and we're here to have some fun today. Up in the top left side, it is going to be Forlorn, which sounds like a very well-mannered and respectable name. I like it. His opponent up in the top right side is gonna be glowster, which sounds like a Pokemon who didn't even make the cut. He got ousted by his sworn enemy CLOYSTER. And glowster up here anyways, man, is gonna be the blue Terran. And of course, Forlorn is the red Protoss. It is gonna be Habitation Station, which, by the way, whoever came up with that name, they probably just pat themselves on the back every time they hear it. It is such a funny name. Habitation? And then they're like, all right, what rhymes with habitation? Station. Or maybe they did it the other way around. But either way, it is a two-player map. You're going to know exactly where your opponent spawns. And also, high-yield expansion. It is very difficult to actually secure these safely. A lot of my longtime fans are like, Husky, chill out, man. Chill out. You are way too excited for this Bronze League Hero game. And that is true. Although I feel like there is no such thing as too excited for Bronze League Heroes, because it is by far my favorite series. But it does look at the probe right now. I'm going to go ahead and scout out exactly what's going on. Two SCVs making a mad dash for it over here. I don't know what they're doing, but he gets back to work. This guy over here, where is he going? He's like trying to hide in his own base. He did scout his own base, which was good. That was actually some next level stuff that he did right there, able to scout that out. This probe over here, though, could still be up to something mischievous. What is this Terran player getting, though? He got gas first. Ah, the secret has been revealed. The barracks inside the main base. He did not want to fall victim to the same thing that he is currently going to be throwing towards Forlorn right now. I forget the word Forlorn is, but I'm going to assume it means getting proxied by Terran. So Forlorn really living up to his name here, an oddly specific name, but it does look like glowster is actually going to be doing the Tech Lab add-on right now. He's got a lot of gas right now. Could add on a second barracks if he wanted to. Is this going to be the Marauder rush that we all dread as Protoss? I think the answer is yes. Now, thankfully for Forlorn, though, he is going to go ahead and get out his Zealot right away. Glowster going to go ahead and drop down Supply Depot. I love also how Forlorn scouted that there was nothing going on in this base, saw the early gas, and was like, okay, all right, things are good. Things look normal here. No barracks, you know, completely standard. We are going to be having a bunker as well, so it is going to be a, I assume, Marauder. Yep, there he is right there. There's going to be the football player Marauder, and the bunker could easily go for concussive shells here as well. That's the one time the upgrade would actually be extremely useful. The probe as well decides not to re-scout the main base. He's going to be really sad. He had one job, which is to see if there was a proxy based on what his opponent was doing, and that probe has failed. First Marauder is done. SCV out right now. I'm going to go ahead and scout around. There is another Zealot, actually, not a Stalker on the way. And actually, the more Stalkers he has, that is going to be a detriment to him. So Zealots here might actually be good. And the Zealot right here is still not able to scout. There we go. It does look like he's finally spotted the two Zealots right here, though. We'll see the sweet micro glowster, as there are going to be the two Marauders inside, the two Zealots just hacking away. I think that SCV is still at the SCV, though, decides to boogie out. No, he doesn't. That bunker is going to get in the red, but the SCV should actually be able to save this, albeit barely. Trying to cut the SCV. SCV is actually trapped. He's trapped, but he doesn't go down. The probe got to try and finish the job, is unable to. That bunker does remain. Keep in mind, though, that this is Bronze League Heroes, so these two Marauders doing damage. But you know what still could take some damage? Glowster's economy. He's got way too much money there. He could easily throw down a command center. He could easily throw down more barracks. He could really easily throw down anything other than just microing his 3 hut football Marauders. But that is okay, because this is Bronze League Heroes, and this is the whole point of Bronze League Heroes. We do have the Marshal Corps going to be out of the way. Keep in mind, there's actually no anti-air in this army. It's just Marauder after Marauder after Marauder. Stem back actually almost done, which might actually be, again, be a detriment to glowster, because at this point he doesn't really need stim pack, and he looks like he's just got to go straight for the Nexus, decided to ignore everything else, just trying to kill the main base. If he actually gets this, that is going to be hilarious. There he goes, finally targeting down the much more valuable probes. The Marauders here doing a surprising amount of damage right now, and actually going to be microed into the mineral line. No, they decide to turn around, go straight for the pylon, and the sentry is going to fall next, but with no anti-air out until just now. It looks like there's one Marine in that bunker. So many probes are actually going to die here. This is why I love Bronze League Heroes. as glowster right now has 900 minerals, is still focused on trying to micro that Marauder. He is going to realize, oh my god, I actually have like a lot of money. What am I going to spend it on? Right now he's spending it on one Marine at a time. Doesn't have any more workers on the way. Doesn't even have an orbital command. That would probably be a good investment right now. He does, though, of course, still have the 2 Marines inside this bunker. That is enough to kill off the Mothership Core. Mothership Core here has got to be careful. It's going to go down if he doesn't micro back. There he goes. And did he ever photon overcharge? Nope. But he does have enough energy to do that now if he needs to. I'm not sure if that would be in range, though. The Stalker going to go down. 3 Marines in a bunker turns out is pretty good and is actually the sworn enemy of the Bronze League hero Forlorn. Now, Forlorn, though, is actually going to go ahead and hide a base down here on the bottom right side. He has basically left his main base for dead because of 4 Marines in a bunker. The one Stalker trying to warp in does get a couple of shots up, but there's going to be the big stem. And tries to micro those around with the photon overcharge. Going to be scaring that away right away. And Forlorn here managing to hang on with some very unorthodox play. Glowster still refusing to invest that money. He is definitely a frugal player, but unfortunately being frugal in StarCraft 2 is not really that great. You gotta spend all your money that you make. You can't be saving it for later. That's not how it works out. We do have a factory going to be on the way. We finally have the orbital command on the way at around the 8.5-minute mark, and the one Stalker here not feeling too good about how this game is going. An additional 2 gateways are going to be on the way. Still don't really see anything that can help deal with this bunker. I mean, maybe an Immortal, maybe a Colossus, maybe a Void Ray, maybe something other than just one Stalker would be the correct choice here, but we'll see if he manages to hold this off for now. Forlorn finally going to be expanded here. The last thing Forlorn needs is gas, though. He's got almost 1,000 gas in the bank. Decides to make that geyser. I mean, normally I say as Protoss, you want as much gas as you possibly can, but maybe not in this situation. Maybe he has found a situation where it's actually not viable. The one Stalker here, though, going to work is up to 3 kills. We'll get 4, maybe actually 5 and 6. Down go the Marines right there, trying to micro them away. I'm kind of curious on the APM here. Here we go. You can see Protoss obviously overpowered based on the APM tab here. 31 APM here for Forlorn, and still just 3 gateways, but at least he does have 3 gateways now and needs to continue making probes, which he is. His opponent finally starts making those SCVs as well. A Widow Mine on the way. Now, keep in mind, one single Widow Mine may not be that impressive, but in Bronze League Heroes it is, because there is no detection here for Forlorn. Really no detection anywhere in sight. As that Widow Mine, I don't know how that Widow Mine is actually going to die unless it's microed horribly, which I definitely wouldn't count out. There's going to be the one and only Scantipede, only 10 HP, but man, has he got a mean pincer. Look at how big this thing actually is in comparison to a human. That is like as big, if not larger than a human. I would be terrified of that. It should definitely have more than 10 HP. It does look like, though, Forlorn has quite a sizable force. All things considered, it's hard for me to say that with a straight face, but could actually force field out, zone out that SCV, Guardian shield it up, and take down that bunker. That bunker so far is literally his sworn enemy. If bunkers could get kills, it would be a lot. There's the SCV flexing right there, as he is feeling pretty boss mode and holding this up. I love how he still puts a probe in there despite having 1,000 gas. Does have this base down here as well, though, so that's going to slowly start to supplement that income. You can see Forlorn, with the miracle comeback, has gotten a higher supply, more income. He's lost 15 workers, but he still has more than his opponent. Glowster has got to figure out how to spend this money. He does have production, but he's not producing. That's literally just sitting there. He does have his army moving out now. Glowster making the common mistake of thinking that you can win with just micro alone. Never a good idea. I do love the use of Widow Mines here, though, because Forlorn, he's not really spending any money on any detection at all, so it's basically every shot is a guaranteed kill. Here he goes. He finally looks like he's going to go ahead and break down the smoker. SCV trying to repair it. It will eventually fall. The 4 Marines inside, able to kill off one last target, but there's going to be the flank attack inside his own main base. He could actually engage his army directly and kill it off if he wants to, but he doubts himself and runs away. Would have won that battle with just a little bit of micro, but hey, micro is overrated. He's trying to bait them into the Widow Mines, and very well could if Forlorn is not careful. I think it's exactly what Glowster was trying to do there, was be a little bit sassy, a little bit creative with that Widow Mine. The barracks here still does remain, and the Widow Mines here trying to get into a good spot. Got to be careful to run up that ramp. First Widow Mine going to fall right away. The army realizing, I've got to get there. Here comes that Widow Mine right there, and can he kill off a Stalker? Yes, he can. Looks like he could actually just be lining him up right now. There is actually production back at Glowster's base right now. Force field to delay the inevitable. for just a little bit. But I gotta say, this game, honestly, non-stop action so far as, the barracks here maybe used to spot the high ground, or it could land it on the low ground to continue producing units right now. But I gotta say, glowster has an opportunity to capitalize here. He could expand. He could make siege tanks. He could go for anything that Terran has, because everything Terran has is good versus unupgraded gateway units. This is where Terran is the strongest, is in the early transitioning into the mid game when Protoss tries to tech switch. But at this point, Forlorn saying, tech switch? What is that? We're going all tier 1 and tier 1.25. That is all there is to it here with these gateways. More gateways going to be added on here as well. Of course, he still has the space down the bottom right side. Unfortunately for him, not really making any more workers, because every single worker he gets down there right now is going to directly increase that income. It does look like the army trying to run up the ramp, though, for glowster, throwing away more and more units. Resources lost here overall is still somehow favoring glowster. Not glowster. I'm now starting to combine those Pokemon terms I was talking about. Glowster as glowster. God, what does that even mean? Glowster here is still being very frugal, but needs to start spending the money. There's those siege tanks we were talking about. Now we're talking. Glowster finally starting to spend that money. He's got another barracks on the way. He definitely needs a command center, and guess what? He's got one down on the expansion. At his natural, he does have that going down, so not throwing it at a crazy location. The barracks here, though, he had the right idea with the barracks, which is scouting around. Unfortunately, this space down here still completely unchecked, and it's time for the pro tip of the day. Always scout around the map. You can always spare one Marine or one worker to see if your opponent is doing anything silly. Siege tanks right now, though, are indeed rolling on out. Supply, though, heavily favored for Forlorn. So if he attacks at a favorable location, lots of Guardian Shields, lots of Force Fields, then he is going to be A-okay. Mothership Core here at full energy as well. That could be 2 devastating time warps on this army. But glowster does have the contain set up, or so he thinks. He's really just kind of a middleman right now because, again, the bottom right side base has continued worker production. It now has more gas on the way. Not that he needs it, but it does look like right now that glowster going to be running in here. Can he actually engage his army directly with siege tanks? Actually in a pretty good spot right now. If he can continue to spot that high ground, that's going to be an absolutely destroyed Protoss army. Down goes the Mothership Core force fields here, trying to buy time. The siege tanks, though, can still see on the high ground, getting way too many kills. That's 1 kill and 2 kills apiece, but the amount of splash damage is absolutely absurd. Resources lost right now. You can tell Forlorn was actually ahead in supply, but now he's teetering on being way behind if he continues just making gateway units. He's got 3 cannons in the back of his mineral line, so he doesn't have to worry about drops, at least not right there, but we'll see if those cannons actually do anything or not. But remember, the base still in the bottom right side is fully operational. He's got lots of probes still being produced right there, and also has got the double Stargate on the way. Siege tanks here have that nice contain set up. Little do they know they could actually just steamroll quite literally their way up that ramp to kill off the main base, but that would be too easy. He's tried to run up there before. He's already lost units in doing so. We had the barracks down here, which could reinforce if he wanted to. More units slowly streaming out across the map. Just sticking with Marine Marauder, always a good idea. More SCVs on the way, always a good idea. Needs to upgrade this to an orbital command, always a good idea. But for now, it's kind of 2 base versus 2 base, and I wouldn't really even call this a base race right now. I mean, even if Forlorn loses his main base, which is very possible he will, it's not really a base race at that point. He's already got way more than enough gas. He's already remining gas down here, and here we go. The army has moved up the ramp. Force field's a little bit too late. No Guardian Shield being activated right now. The Force field's trying to slowly push this back, but the sentry's not able to do enough damage. Sure, they've cleaned this up, but at what cost? Almost all the sentries have gone down. 1 more siege tank shot, and that will be all of the sentries. That supply disadvantage, or at least the resources lost disadvantage, is getting worse and worse for Forlorn, trying to inch his way over there. But every time he takes a pot shot there from the tanks, they rake in the kills. 4 kills now, 3 kills, 2 kills, and 2. Those siege tanks, having already paid for themselves, are indeed ready to roll out, as they do hang out over there. And in the bottom right side, this base is starting to slowly shape up. We do have an observer going to be on the way. Still lots of gas in the bank, and what that means is that once he starts making these void rays, then he is going to have lots of gas to do so. Lots of gas to play around with, but still 2 base versus 2 base. Income here, though, heavily favoring Forlorn. I feel like glowster, he's got a good idea. His rush was solid. It was thought out. And then after that, he's just kind of fumbling around with the macro right now. He needs more production. He's got lots of siege tanks on the way, but what he needs now is anti-air. If only he knew. But here comes the attack right up the ramp. Force fields, once again, way too late. Not actually doing anything. The stalkers are going to go down. Time warp not really helping out at all either. And unfortunately for Forlorn, a little bit too late on the reaction here, so this main base is as good as dead. Do you guys know how to spell dead? It is D-E-D. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but it does look at the siege tanks right now, trying to take down the production. They are going to be doing just that. The stalker here could kill off the last Marauder. but no, it does not manage to. That Marauder has definitely seen some stuff as these battles progress forward. The siege tanks progress forward as well, slowly locking down this base. Keep in mind, though, that for Forlorn, this base is nearly mined out. Sure, there's still some mineral patches here, but not all that much. 2 Void Rays going to go ahead and move on out. He decides it's now or never, and remember, there's no actual defense back at home. Supply is still favoring Forlorn somehow. Never give up, never surrender, says Forlorn, and there's just no anti-air here. There is the 2 starports, which could easily make the Vikings here decide to go straight for the workers. All of a sudden, prismatic alignment comes out. It starts focusing down that command center. Remember, it does extra damage versus armored. At the same time, though, this base in the top left side is getting taken out. The Marines right here actually managing to focus it down because the Void Rays, they're attacking the command center. That Void Ray manages to narrowly not escape. He died. That was kind of anticlimactic for him, but it does look at the Void Ray right here not trying to face the same fate, but instead, he's got to be careful. He's got to get that Void Ray out of there. It's so dangerous. Oh, it's done. It's done. It's done. Those poor Void Rays getting taken out and somehow supply blocked. I guess losing all the pylons in your main base will do that to you. The Mothership Core here is back with a vengeance. 8 kills on that Mothership Core, trying to rake in even more. So many dead probes here, though. 18 kills. Soon to be 31 kills. Oh, my God. That was 18 kills to 31 in one shot. Now 32. Can anyone stop this siege tank? I don't even think the Mothership Core can at this point. But, man, is she going to try the base down here for Forlorn, though. He is behind in supply for the first time in a very long time. Definitely needs more pylons on the way, and that's exactly what's going to be happening here. And it does look like our commander siege tank with 32 kills will eventually fall unless microed away, which I do not think that is going to happen. But, man, that siege tank with the money shot literally taken in or out of context. They both make sense. Absolutely destroying those probes. And this siege tank over here, oh, gotta be careful, gotta be careful. Want to go ahead and siege up right there. The Mothership Core continuing with 12 kills here. Not even sure if that Mothership Core is being microed or not, but this army for Forlorn starting to resemble something that could actually kill Terran units. We had the Immortal there. We got the double Stalker. We had the 3 Void Rays, and more Immortal is going to be on the way. Is this the comeback of the century? We are about to find out. Resources lost here. More than double at this point in the game. Forlorn got to try to expand here just narrowly. He actually transferred that probe at the perfect time and expanded at the perfect time. All of a sudden, got to be set. Oh, the command center never getting repaired. The Void Rays come back from the grave to destroy that command center, and now all of a sudden, glowster has absolutely no income, but that's okay because he never spends money, which means he has a lot of money to burn. I don't know if he realizes that he lost that base, and glowster says GG question mark. I think he is definitely very confused, as am I, and that is why I love Bronze League heroes. We do have Marines going to go ahead and try and move out, but man, these Marines are not going to be happy with what they see once they get up that ramp, and there it is right there. A whole new world, a whole new base, and the Marines got to try and go for that pylon. I mean, maybe they'll get that, but this army is going to be mighty pissed. I don't think that pylon's actually going to die. All of a sudden, glowster realizing I may have spoke too soon, and indeed he did. Where's that Mothership Core? Did it finally go down? I evidently missed the Mothership Core dying. I assume that this is the Marine that killed it. The hero mothership, though, killing off the hero siege tank. We have lots of heroes dying today. Marines right here actually in a pretty good spot to be able to take these out. They could stem if he's paying attention. The Stalker's going to go down right away. There's going to be the big stem. Can he take down any of the Void Rays for Zach alignment? Go ahead and kill off a lot of these armored units. I don't know why he's still making siege tanks. You don't need siege tanks. What he needs to do is make the Vikings. There they are on the way. Finally, the Vikings might actually be in time here if he can actually group up a couple of them. But it looks like glowster all of a sudden in a world of hurt. Unfortunately, this is what happens when you don't scout. Is Protoss will get the upper hand, and it looks like the 3 Void Rays. No, 4 Void Rays. Counting is very hard. There's going to be the 2 Vikings right there. Can he micro them perfectly? Can he keep them alive? So far, the answer is no. So far, the answer is yes. He does keep them alive. He's going to get some more shots up here on the Void Rays. Can he kill them off? Where's this micro coming from? He needs to keep making more Vikings, though. He's got to turn around and kill off at least that 1 Void Ray. He does manage to get the SCVs. Have got to get out of here. The commander has got to get out of there. He needs more Vikings. He's trying to get the Vikings, the 1 Immortal. No, there's a second one here, but he's not actually assisting in this battle. All of a sudden, this is not looking good for glowster right now. He's got 2 more Vikings on the way, but man, are they painfully slow. These SCVs have got to get out of here if possible. Marines are being built all the way across the map. They're literally trying to run their way down to the bottom right side, but there's more reinforcements. There's going to be the GG out of glowster. It's glowster. It's not glowster. There's the so close. There's the GG. I gotta say, man, glowster. Glowster, it's not glowster. Why do I keep saying glowster? I should not have mentioned the Pokemon, but I gotta say, man, glowster, he has heart. He has spirit. He has good ideas, but he needs to spend that money. Even in death, he never spent that money. And what's the point of all the money if you're not able to have fun with it, if you're not able to make enough units? I think we all know what the mistakes there were, but we got to give it to not CLOYSTER. Not CLOYSTER. It is glowster. We gotta give it to glowster and Forlorn for making a highly entertaining game. I know I say this a lot, but definitely one of my favorites. I think the reason it always feels like one of my favorites is the level of excitement I feel while casting a new Bronze League hero is always good. Also, a special thanks to Invicta. He's the one who sorts through thousands of replays, and he is the one who has picked these replays and sent them to me, so they are not spoiled. I do not know who ends up winning these games, but you can definitely go follow Invicta at, well, I'll put a link down below. I'm not even going to try and say it. It's Invicta316 down at the bottom. There's a link. Go follow him. He's actually got a lot of videos on his channel, and he live streams the Bronze League Hero sorting process. And also, if you would like to submit your replays to Bronze League Heroes, send them to huskyreplays@gmail.com. I'm going to spell it out for you. HUSKYREPLAYS@gmail.com. You make fun of me for having to spell it out, but hey, a lot of people have difficulty spelling, and that's fine. That's fine. We're here to help them out. HuskyReplays@gmail.com. Submit your replays there. Please make sure they are on the newest patch. Also, try to pick good games like this one. Don't just send me a game just for the sake of sending it. Give it a little bit of thought. I know you guys can do it, but thank you so much for submitting the replays. Hope you guys enjoy, and of course, I'll see you guys next time.